Hi, this is Peter the Clairvoyant here, and I'm looking at astrology, Aquarius, April 2018. So, as I'm looking forward here for you for April, I'm seeing I feel so you've got thoughts and ideas. And some of you are definitely thinking about abroad, your holidays and your plans and your ideas. And I feel so definitely do sort of going out there and implement them. I feel so it's quite positive for you to focus on that. But not just with your thoughts and ideas, there's a lot of sort of soul searching going on around you. It's like it feels so very slowly but surely you're starting to look at the past a little bit. And that's absolutely fine. I don't knock anybody looking backwards. But you have got to keep looking forwards because most of you are looking more backwards than forwards. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes that can be a good thing to do that. Because sometimes we do need to look where we've been to see where we're kind of going. And that's fine. But just make sure you're not looking back too much or too long, because it just feels though it can get some of you a little bit depressive. It's like it feels like you're looking at the past too negatively instead of changing the future. So you've just got to watch that a little bit. And I just feel so a lot of you are just not trusting at the moment, trusting in yourselves, trusting in your abilities. So there's all this kind of lack of confidence at the moment around you. And sometimes you're trying to control everything. You want everything to be just in balance. And it's okay to be like that. But I feel like sometimes now you need to come out your comfort zone a little bit now and start looking forwards. But it just feels like I'm getting a bit bored and a bit fed up now and I want new things to come in. But when you're sitting and feeling like this, you should be getting your positive thoughts and ideas. So all you've got to do now is get out there now and start sort of focusing on those thoughts and ideas and bringing them to the forefront. And I feel so relationships need to be a bit more balanced. In other words, you need to make sure now you're getting back what you put in, or vice versa, whatever people bring into you that you're giving back. And everything just needs to be sorted out. So there's a lot of changes to go on. And it's so funny because I'm looking at the month of April. It's neither a good month and it's neither a bad month. It just seems a bit bitty, bit messy. And it feels like, I'm perhaps over focusing things, over clouding my judgment. And that's just making everything just look all over the place, where I think if I just step back and perhaps be a bit more carefree and not worry so much, then April might not be such a bad month at all. It could be quite exciting. Some of you as well can be sort of a bit under the weather, sort of not feeling too great. And I just feel so we've been stuck in too long with the winter and the colds and the flus and stuff like that. So I feel so we need to get out now and get the fresh air. So really start enjoying the spring. And then I feel like as we do that, then that helps to build our strength back up. So that's what we need to be focusing on. But you Aquarians, you can be quite empowered when you want to be. So start tapping into your strengths now and start making things happen. And talking about strengths, it's a great time to be focusing on your careers. Because here, I'm being drawn very strong to work and careers. I have to put a bit of energy into this. And this could really be quite positive for you. Because sitting next to your career, I'm getting a bit bored, a bit fed up with things, want new things to coming in. I am feeling a bit more empowered, and this could be the right time now for you to say, right, I could start perhaps motivating myself, putting a bit more energy into my career. That would help bring me more money in, make me feel more positive, start trusting in all my abilities. Kind of seems to turn everything around full circle of what I've been talking about. And also, if you're not happy in your career, it will affect relationships, and that's why relationships sort of a bit upside down, so to speak. So just feels like I've got quite a bit of sorting out to do now, putting things right. So this is what I need to be looking at. So, like I say, not a negative month, but a bit messy. Right, let's see what else we get here for you. And I just feel so you Aquarians as well, you've got to start sort of like speaking your mind a little bit. Start saying exactly what you think. But I also feel so you need to sort of listen to what you're told as well. Because you can be quite chatty, quite forthright. But I feel like now you've also got to listen to what people around you are trying to tell you. But everything's in your capable hands now to make changes. See, here we've got the Ace of Wands coming out, which is drawing me to all about change, new beginnings, all very, very positive. And really, you can be quite wise. You're not daft, you're not stupid. So it just feels like we've got to start standing this ground a little bit now. pushing forward. See, your standing your ground card coming out. And with this, it's telling you how to get on with things. Start doing what's best for you. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Don't follow the pack. Be a bit individual. And I just feel so some of you might have been a little bit secretive at the moment. And when I say secretive, I don't mean like mistrust, but I mean like sort of, you've got to start opening up a little bit with your thoughts and feelings. And the more you can do that, people won't be so confused the way they connect with you. Could be a great time for organising parties as well, celebrations for the rest of the year, and I think that will be great for you. But I definitely feel now need to start just focusing on my health a little bit, and that will be really good. But this is what I always say about you Aquarians. I feel so you can be quite sexual people. You've got a real kind of sexual energy around you. You know, so here's the devil card coming out, you know, and that's great. So it just feels though you need to make sure you're getting that kind of connection around you. And I feel so, you know, some of you Aquarians, you like to be in control of that side. You like it when you want and how you want, which is fine. But I also feel as though with certain people that you're connecting with, you've got to be sort of a bit more adventurous to what they want as well. Or maybe when their needs are as well. So be a bit flexible on the sexual side of things. But other than that, I just feel as though everything's great. So start focus on those goals, and then I feel as though everything comes together, and definitely money should be picking up. And see here, I've got your security and your wealth card, I've got your good news about money card, and your outcome crossing all that is your wheel of fortune. So everything does seem to be looking pretty good and pretty positive. And it just like, I just feel like I say, everything's there now. I feel as though the beginning of April sort of starts off a bit slow. And then as we progress through into the second and third week, it seems to be taking a bit of a shift. But it's as we start thinking backwards and start looking forwards. That's when everything comes good. So it just feels so overall, April's not a bad month, but it's the first week, it's like we're a bit down. But I feel it's just where we're coming just out of the winter solace and coming into the spring. And then all of a sudden, our body and our energy start to take a bit of a shift forward. And I feel so, and it's how we look at everything. So it's almost like as slowly but surely in April we come out of a shell. We're ready to move forward. We're ready to start to progress in our careers. We're ready to start a sexual energy coming forward. And that really kind of empowers and moves us forward quite nicely. So I think that's really good. Really, really good. Right, so let's just pull an angel card. And let's have a look roughly what April brings for us through the angels. Yeah, so don't worry about money. Just look after what we've got. Don't sort of go spending too much. And if we want more money, then we need to focus on our careers a little bit. And I feel that would be really great. And I also feel so some of you Aquarians as well are feeling a little bit tired. Like we've got no energy. But I feel again, we're coming out the winter time, the sleepy time, and we can start to feel a bit more empowered. And the empowering card did come out, so I feel so your energy levels will start picking up. Right, let's have a look now at love life. For you Aquarians, love life. 3, 4, 5. Oh yes. Okay, so here you are, the Aquarian, the Queen of Swords. You're an air sign, and it's like you've got this strength, you've got this dominance, and I just feel as though, you don't take fools gladly. Now, a lot of you Aquarians don't, you know, you like to be sort of, you know, in the midst of the trust and everything, and, you know, everything's got to be just right. But a couple of you will be quite adventurous and willing to be doing a few things naughty that you shouldn't be doing. So I feel so when it comes to relationships, a lot of you, most of you, are going to be fixated on your partners and making sure things are right. Or you're going to sort of, like, say, become a bit more adventurous. But there's going to be one or two of you where I just feel so you could be up to no good. So just be careful of that. I don't see anything negative coming out with it, but just watch what you're doing. Okay. And it's all about taking leaps of faith. But I just feel so some of you Aquarians could be connecting with an earth sign or somebody who could be a bit cold with emotions. And in some ways that can be quite good for you, because you Aquarians, you like to be independent, you don't like to be tied down. It's like you want the energy, but you don't want to be fixated. So that's absolutely fine. But you've got to make sure, like I say, you're thinking about your partner's needs as well, what he wants, not just what you want. And that's sometimes where you can be losing out a little bit. So just be careful of that. But some of you are already in your partner relationships. It's like I feel that you've got it sorted. You know what you're doing, especially in your long-term relationships. You've just got to keep thinking of each other's needs. I feel so new relationships coming together. You need to start listening and communicating to each other, finding the way forward. But like I say, one or two of you are going to be a bit naughty. Watch out. Watch what you're doing. Okay, so I just feel as though a lot of happiness and joy coming around you. And it just feels as though everything's fine. So I just feel as though everything's building up quite nicely. But like I say, you know, the majority of you fine. It's just the one or two of you who are sort of being a bit sort of naughty. In fact, let me focus on the ones where it feels as though you're being a little bit on the naughty side. Yeah, could be past lovers. It could be, you know, where somebody haven't heard from somebody quite a while, sort of stepping back in, and it's like you're very tempted. And it's like, see, it's kind of mixed feelings. It's like for some of you, you could reconnect with the past and you could make it really work. In other words, it doesn't become an affair. It's like it becomes a real solid relationship, and there's victory. But for some of you, it's like be careful what you're doing, because the shit could hit the fan. But I do feel so whichever way you do it, whether it comes to a positive relationship or not, you will go through the motions. So it just feels though this is where you've got to be careful. And I just feel so just watch what you're doing. And bear in mind as well, you know, for some of you may be reading this and you're not an Aquarian, then maybe you could be connecting with an Aquarian if it makes sense to you. So I just thought I'd say that for some reason. But I just feel as though, like I say, love life is looking okay. But it's just the ones that I feel as though who are being a little bit adventurous. Because like I say, you've got this strong sexual energy. And I feel like you can be very interesting lovers, and you like the adventurousness and you like the passion and the energy, and that's great. But I just feel so, but be careful of what you're doing and how you go about getting it. Because some of you could steer off the right path, if you know what I mean. Right, let's have a look now of what your angels are going to say. Yeah, so some of you now have just got to look after yourselves a little bit with your health. So just start eating properly, drinking properly, sleeping properly, just building your energy levels up. And then as you do that, I feel so you'll be fine. So overall, you Aquarians, like I say, it's almost like I feel as though you're coming out of hibernation now and you're ready to start going out there, focused on your relationships, your careers, your love life, you know, everything. It's like you want to come out and play, and I feel as though it's great. And I think that's a really positive thing to do, and it's all good. But you've just got to make sure now it's all in balance with all your needs and what you're looking for generally. And I just feel so just try and sort money out a little bit. Just tidy it up. I don't look at money being negative, but I just feel as though you may have overspent a little bit through the winter times, keeping yourself warm and stuff like that. And it could be a good time now while the weather warms up that you perhaps keep paying that extra back to pay it down, or just pay half as much as what you were. So if you were paying sort of 20 out each week over the winter times on your electric bill, gas bill, maybe reduce it down to 15 and not 10. In other words, you're continuing to pay some of it back a little bit. So it's like it feels like it makes life that little bit easier for you. So it's just about keeping an eye on the money. And I do feel as though it wouldn't hurt to spend extra money on food. In other words, the right types of food. The healthy foods always cost that little bit more. But I feel as though overindulged in that way, and it feels really good and really positive for you. So overall fine. And it just feels though, just one word's just coming to my head, is some of you, like I say, you're coming out the winter times, and some of you feeling a little bit depressive. And I just feel as though, you know, you don't need to be going and running off to the doctor all the time. I just feel as though just connect with your diet, your energy boosting foods, and get out there now and have a bit of gentle exercise. Look, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say not connect with your doctor, because I'd never do that, but I just feel so you've gone through a bit of a dark period and you're just coming out of it now, and it's the winter solstice, and I feel so you're coming out in the spring and you just need to energize your body now, and that's all you need to be doing. And as you do that, you'll feel so much better. So just look after yourselves, that's all you've got to do, and I feel like you'll be fine. So get out there, enjoy the fresh air, motivate yourself, get your diet right, look after yourselves. Bit of gentle exercise, some brisk walks, take the dog out that bit further, whatever it may be, it will really energise you. Okay, so I hope all that's made sense to you, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to doing all these new videos. So great.